All right, what is up, guys? My name is Coriola. Welcome back to episode number 3 of my Out of the Park Baseball franchise, Out of the Park Baseball 21 franchise with the Milwaukee Brewers. We are here at the 2020 trade deadline. As you can see, not much improvement from where we were last episode. In fact, I think we've been in 5th place this entire time, but we are currently, looks like, the 5th worst record in baseball, just behind Baltimore, Detroit, Texas, and Miami. And it looks like we're going to be sellers, but I'm not really going to be selling, the big pieces. We're not going to look to trade Christian Yelich. We're not going to look to trade Josh Hader. I think I'm even going to, hold on to Corey Knebel for one more season at least. He's doing pretty well, but I think we're going to look to trade him, in the offseason. I'll shop him around and just see what gets offered. But guys who have requested trades that I do plan on dealing in this video, are Eric Sogard. I think a contending team could use him at third base, banking on the fact that he'd bounce back to where he was with Toronto. He still got, fairly decent ratings. And then Avisail Garcia. He is on a big contract, though, so he might be hard to move. But 60 contact and 55 power is really nice. He had a good season with Tampa Bay last year. And then we'll probably shop Knebel. I don't think we have any other major league free agents. Logan Morrison will be a free agent, but that's it. Sogard and Garcia won't even be free agents. I'll probably also, shop around Lorenzo Cain. We'd probably have to eat a bunch of his contract if we want to get a good prospect back. But, at age 34, he's not really in our long-term plans, and I think his value from here on out is just going to decrease. The only way it could increase is when he only has a year or two left on his contract, and that's not as challenging for a team to take on. But yeah, I'm not sure whether I should do all the trades on screen, but I think I'll shop around Sogard and Garcia, kind of talk through my thought process, and then I guess once I get into trade details, I'll probably cut out. So only the Cardinals are interested in Eric Sogard. Is that realistic? They are in first place. So currently they have Tim Beckham at third base. What's up with Nolan Gorman? Jesus, Dylan Carlson. There's no way we could trade for him. Wow, what a stud. Gorman, so he's still only an A-ball. I thought he'd be almost big league ready, but it makes sense that they would want a third baseman. Obviously, a division rival we're not really worried about trading with at this point. I would love to get Montero. That might be a little much. Andrew Kinzer, also a guy I'd love, but again, for Eric Sogard on a 1-year deal, they might not be really eager to part with these guys. Did Jerko also request a trade? Because I don't want him. Probably just void his option in the offseason. Okay, so we could get Montero straight up for Spangenberger. Not Spangenberger, just Spanberger. I think this makes sense. They are banking on the fact that Montero's a little overrated. As you can see, OSA has him a little lower. He's not great on defense. Not terrible. He's got a nice arm. So, and yeah, they need a third baseman to kind of fill out their lineup. Tim Beckham isn't cutting it. And they're getting back a minor league first baseman who's hitting pretty well and still has some potential to turn into something in the major leagues. So this is going to be our first trade of the series, shipping Eric Sogard to our division rivals, Yikes! I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard that. I just hit my table with my foot very forcefully. So yeah, we are going to trade for 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 Ella Harris. There we go. Ella Harris Montero. You know, I really like the contact and power potential. Good discipline too. The low gap power. I don't know how many of you are on the OOTP Reddit, but there was like a fascinating post about how gap power as a rating really doesn't matter all that much. It was fascinating. You should definitely check it out. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to make this deal. And let's see about Garcia. So yeah, we are just selling off pieces. We are not a contending team. Okay, definitely some interest in Garcia. Padres offering Javi Guerra. Interesting. So yeah, I've noticed in this game, and this isn't really new to 21, Justin Williams, we could make another deal with the Cardinals. Man, I should have looked at that because I would have loved Justin Williams, but I think that's not realistic. But anyway, the high potential guys you get offered are almost always relievers, and I always look for guys, you know, who could possibly turn into starters. Ian Hamilton, really good reliever for the White Sox. So who does this make sense for? Let's look at Boston. Yeah, that could make sense. Who's a right fielder? Verdugo, Bradley in center. Yeah, no, Red Sox probably wouldn't be looking to add a starting outfielder. Phillies? They are, I guess, looking to make a wild card push their right fielder. Bryce Harper. Yeah, no, the Phillies aren't going to do that. Man, I wish I had done this with the Cardinals now. Padres are 8 games below 500. Blue Jays and Nationals. Well, I guess, you know, not all these teams are looking to make win now moves. Garcia's a younger player. He's still just 29, and he's got another year on his deal. So, like, could make sense to move him to Toronto. How did Toronto get Jackson Kowar? Kansas City, what are you doing? I gotta check this. That's actually not a bad deal for Kansas City. So they're probably not gonna move him. Alright. I have definitely determined that watching me look at different guys to make a trade is not gonna be interesting, so I'll cut back once I have a deal in place for Garcia. Alright, I know I just said I didn't want to do this deal. I definitely should have been more careful and checked out everything I could have gotten back from St. Louis, but I think this move does make the most realistic sense. St. Louis's right fielder is Dexter Fowler, who is having an abysmal season. They could really use an influx of outfield depth, and I really, really like Justin Williams. Contact power, discipline potential, good outfield defense. He's hitting really well in AAA. I think he'd be a really nice player for us. I could have gotten Andrew. I'm not even gonna try it, but I think at this point I value. Almost weird to say, but I value the outfielder a little bit more. Between Narvaez and Freitas, we are set at catcher for now. And Knizer is already 25, I think. So by the time catcher becomes an issue, he's already kind of into his prime and past the maximum value we can get from him. Meanwhile, outfield depth is definitely an issue on this team. And I think Justin Williams, as far as hitting potential, is just flat out the better player. So we are going to make this deal. Justin Williams for Avi Garcia. We are once again moving a player to a division contender, but after this year, maybe next year, he could still be playing against us. But for now, we don't really care as a rebuilding team. So we are going to complete this deal, and I think just make kind of a courtesy shop of Knievel and Lorenzo Cain. Okay, we can definitely get some value for Knievel. Seth Beer and Pavin Smith from Arizona. I am absolutely interested in that. That is a lot of value. Obviously, Knievel's a really, really good reliever. Phillies are offering a nice third baseman, but we just traded. Jesus, St. Louis, I'm going to stop offering me really good players, or else we're just going to become, the Milwaukee Cardinals. Jesus, this is a incredible offer for him. There's Cower. Man. Beer's already in the bigs. Wow. But, okay. Alright. I'm going to just shop Lorenzo Cain, see if anybody's biting. You can see the value is a lot lower for him. Although the Padres are offering Kyle Lewis, I think I have to do this. They just traded for him from Seattle. But this would be a realistic move. Lewis is already 25, but Padres are not contending. They have Trent Grisham in center field. Do you need another outfielder? I did not know I could get Kyle Lewis. He is hitting really well in the minors. Still has really, really nice hitting ratings. I mean, that could be our outfield right there. Yelich, Williams, and Kyle Lewis. I think Lewis, was he a top 10 pick? He was 11th. So really, really close. If we retained half of Cain's money, who could we get? Because Kyle Lewis is a very valuable player. Zach Collins. I've never liked him in OTP. Jacob Amaya. Hello. Okay. So Amaya is really the only player that I'm really interested in who it makes a big difference retaining the money. So we're out of player shops. All right. I'm looking at Arizona. They're not contending. Neither San Diego. Dodgers could be in the out market, but their outfield is unbelievably stacked. Their worst hitter is Will Smith, and their second worst hitter is Gavin Lux. Good God. If this team doesn't win a World Series with this core, that is just embarrassing at this point. They traded for Chris Archer. Yeah, this team's going all in. Damn, they get these crazy good players out of nowhere. Caleb Ferguson has 80 potential. That's absurd. Oh, this team's so good. I could spend another 5 minutes just gushing about how good this Dodgers team is. And they have got like more players in the minor leagues too. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Good God. Although Zach McKinstry. Jesus, they want a lot for him. I really like him. He plays a lot of different positions. Good hitting ratings. He's hitting really well in the minor leagues. I'm just curious how much. They would need more than Knievel. They really value him. All right. I think I'm going to hold on to Cain and Knievel for at least the time being. Well, yeah, at least until the offseason. We now need a new third baseman. Is that going to be Ryan Healy? I'm just looking at who would be a cheap. Jake Lamb? I wouldn't mind Jake Lamb. free agent after the year. Makes sense. Are we going to... I don't really want to trade for someone. Okay, when you're a free agent, I'm going to sign you. Love how he plays all 4 infield positions. Adrianza, I'm going to sign him. I want him. Damn, they want a lot for him. Oh, that is one more guy I want to shop around. But I can't because I have spent all my shops on the last day that I can trade anyone. So I think we're going to hold on to these guys for now. Are there any... We need a starting third baseman. There is absolutely nobody. So we are going to have Ryan Healy playing third base. I said last episode that this team was not tanking. That was a lie. We are full on tanking for the rest of the season. We need another outfielder. We do. Ben Gamel has been up and down this season. He'll be back. Although, we'll give Tyrone Taylor a chance. He's played really well in the minor leagues. Got bumped up to 45 overall. And then Justin Williams will be in AAA. Alright, I'm going to cut out here and come back once the season is simulated, unless we make we win 40 straight games and are suddenly contending for a playoff spot. But just check out end of season stats and get ready for the off season. Alright, we are here at the end of the season, and as you can see from the record, we actually did not do horribly in the month of September. The months of September and August, you can see an assortment of series wins. The Chicago series, Atlanta, Cincinnati, split of 4 with Cincinnati, split with Pittsburgh, split with the Dodgers, swept Cincinnati, 2-3 from Baltimore, 2-3 from Pittsburgh, split with San Francisco, and so now we are currently sitting as the 8th worst record. We are tied with Toronto, so we could be 7. And we were 6 at the midseason at the beginning of the episode. So we did do a little better than expected, which is because I guess we shipped off all the dead weight in our lineup. As you can see, everyone hit pretty well towards the end of the season. Lorenzo Cain finished with 4 wins above replacement. Still providing that elite defense. OPS plus almost 100, so pretty decent hitting season. And actually had highest home run numbers since he was with Kansas City. So that's pretty impressive out of Lorenzo Cain. Orlando Arcia, we moved him to third base towards the end of the year. You'll see why in a second. He had a breakout season hitting-wise. 3.5 wins above replacement, 110 OPS plus, and he actually wasn't terrible at third base. And this will probably be his position moving forward to next year. 17 home runs, 784 OPS, definitely a good hitting season. Christian Yelich did his thing. Once again, injury-shortened season. He actually had fewer at-bats than he did last year, and his OPS plus has come down significantly, but 147 is still fantastic. 936 OPS, 5 wins above replacement. Just elite player, nothing else to say. Keston Hiura, I am really happy how he bounced back towards the end of the season. His OPS plus was at 50 at the beginning of the year. And he finished the season hitting 261 with a 769 OPS. The walk numbers, aren't great, and that's probably the biggest concern at this point. Only walked 4.6% of the time. But his slugging numbers were really nice. He had 24 home runs, OPS plus right at 100, and considering he was hitting 200 in episode 2, this is a really nice bounce back. Ryan Braun had a solid season in right field. OPS 778, hit 15 home runs, so kind of a decrease in power, but he also didn't have as many at bats. Actually, he had more at bats than 2018. Interesting. But yeah, bounced around to the outfield. He had a nice hitting season. And then in September, we brought up Luis Urias. This is why Arcia was moved off of shortstop. Either Urias or Arcia will play third base next season. So the infield will be, besides first, will be here at second. And then Arcia and Urias between short and third. I thought Arcia's profile kind of landed him better towards third. He has a stronger arm than Urias does, and Urias has a little bit better air, which is more valuable at a position like shortstop, even though he's not very fast. That's surprising. I thought Urias was... I did not know he only had 35 speed. But he was kind of iffy in the minor leagues, brought it back together towards the end of the season, thought he deserved a September call-up, and he hit really nicely. 834 OPS. It was just 74 at-bats, but you'll definitely take that from a guy who looks like he's going to walk a lot. Not great contact, not great power, but so seeing those OPS numbers is definitely encouraging. He's going to be our starting shortstop next season. David Freitas, who took the starting catcher role from Omar Narvaez, and who I want to be my catcher going into next year, which means Narvaez will either be our DH or will be traded. Braun might fit better at DH in his last year while we slide Justin Williams into outfield, but we'll see that in the offseason. So Freitas is definitely going to be my starting catcher. 97 OPS plus from behind the dish is really good, and then his... Can I not see his caught stealing rate? 26%. Not great. What was Narvaez? 28%. But I think Freitas just offers a little bit more behind the dish as far as defensive ability. And so he's going to be my starting catcher. And then Ryan Healy came up and hit pretty well at first base. He might be our guy there next season. 260, 15 home runs in just 262 at-bats. 100 OPS plus. You know, that's really solid. Morrison struggled. And so instead of putting Healy at third, he was just benched. Jerko got playing time at third until Urias came up, and then Arcia moved over there. But, yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed with Ryan Healy. A lot of guys hit well down the stretch. Looking at guys on the bench, Narvaez, really disappointing from a guy who's been a plus hitting catcher, one of the best hitting catchers in baseball the last 2 seasons. Dropped all the way down to an OPS plus of 84, which is a career low. Logan Morrison, 62 OPS plus. That's just not good. Brock Holt, my utility guy. Love Brock Holt. He's going to be back next season. I'll probably pick up that team option, be our super utility guy. He hit really well off the bench. Almost 2 WAR in less than 200 at-bats. Jed Jerko, he is a team option. Probably not going to bring that back. He did not hit well. Very, very poorly, in fact. Then backup outfielder, Keon Broxton. Yikes. I don't need to say much. And then Tyrone Taylor, who we brought up after the Garcia trade, also did not hit well. So let's check out the pitching staff. Brandon Woodruff, really, really solid season. Home runs, that's a bit high, but it's not out of line with what he's done in his career. Even though he had a pretty low strikeout number, he did have a high ERA plus. He's gonna be our ace, I guess, going forward. We did lose Brent Suter as well for the season. He had a nice year as well, but he got hurt a lot, and so definitely concerned about his durability, but he's going to slot in the rotation with Woodruff. Freddie Peralta brought his ERA down from 6 towards the midseason. Home runs are high, walks are high, but strikeout numbers are good. And just the fact that he showed improvement over the years definitely encouraging. Adrian Hauser, not a terrible season either. You'd ideally like to see the BABIP go down, but once it does, he'll probably be sitting at a low 4s ERA, which you'll definitely take. from a guy like Hauser, who projects as like a 4 or 5 starter. Corbin Burns, probably going to be in the bullpen. Ideally next year, 5 walks per 9 is not good. But, high BABIP again with a lot of these guys. I think he'd be a really, really good reliever. So Woodruff, Peralta, Hauser, Suter, and then we need a 5th starter. Josh Lindblom, not it. Almost -1.5 WAR, 2 home runs per 9 innings, just atrocious. Then in bullpen, Josh Hader did his thing. 2 wins above replacement as a closer, you'll always take that. JP Feyereisen was not very good. He'll probably come back next year. He's only 27. Kniebel, obviously, coming back, but I'm going to look to deal him in the offseason. He's regressing a little bit. His overall just went from an 80 to a 75, which isn't a huge concern. Alex Claudio, the fact that he had a mid-4s ERA with a 4.08 BABIP is something I've never seen before. He had career high in strikeout per 9, or at least, I shouldn't say career high, but for the last, I guess it's second highest besides his first year with Texas, which was only 12 innings. So, yeah, definitely encouraging from Claudio. He will probably be back next year. Might get moved in the offseason. Ray Black was all right. Devin Williams, who's got really good potential, where you need to see those walks and home runs go down. But if he stays at 14 strikeouts per 9 innings, he's going to be disgusting in the bullpen. He's got 3 really good pitches. David Phelps, veteran guy, probably looking to move on to someone younger. Eric Lauer, who we got in the Zach Davies trade. Actually pretty good ERA plus, even though he did have negative WAR. Home runs are high. Walks are way too high for a guy who's supposed to be, finesse, command, lefty. 4.6 walks is just not acceptable. Alec Bettinger was just AAA fodder who really, really struggled. And then I think we're going to take a look at our prospects. Go through the highlights. Bryce Terang had a fantastic season. The ratings profile is still, I'm not sold on it, but he mashed A-ball. He mashed high A-ball, so next year he's going to start in AA. Since we got him, Montero has been really good. He mashed in AAA, so he could definitely be pushing for a major league spot. I think he's going to repeat AAA next year. Want to see that overall rating go up, get that contact up a little higher, but definitely really good from the guy we acquired. Urias does not need to be on the short list anymore because he's in the big leagues. Mario Feliciano hit really well in A-ball. He'll be in AA next season. Guys with this low contact, low strikeout rating are not my favorite type of players, but we could definitely make it work, especially at a valuable position like catcher. Blaze Jordan's ratings have actually increased, even though he struggled in rookie ball. I don't know if he's ready for A-ball next season, so he might be in like our Appalachian League team. But it's encouraging to see his ratings going up at least. Tristan Lutz struggled in AA. Then Justin Williams, since we acquired him, definitely struggled in AAA. He's going to start there again next season. Casey Martin, our first draft pick, had a really nice fall in Arizona. He is going to start probably in Rocky Mountain unless he really develops in the offseason. And then any other notables? Not really. So yeah, our farm system's definitely looking a lot better now than it was at the beginning of the season. So next year, really the big things you're gonna want to see is progression from Jordan. Terang keep doing what he's doing. Martin take the next step, and guys like Montero and Williams, and maybe even Tristan Lutz and Mario Feliciano start pushing for major league playing time. Wild card round, Yankees, and in the National League, the Reds win. Division series, Yankees, White Sox. Then I'll just go to the playoffs end. Dodgers and Cardinals. Our division rivals are up, and they fall to the Dodgers, who will face the Yankees. Game 7, the Dodgers win. And Clayton Kershaw's out for the entire next season, but they did win the World Series finally with this stacked team. We finished the season 72-90 and now head into the off season. But that is going to do it for this episode. I don't love this format of doing kind of a recap episode as part 2 of the midseason. If anyone has suggestions, let me know what you think. Otherwise, I will figure something out to do that works for everybody. I like being able to kind of go around the league and show, how the league is developing, but I understand that probably doesn't make great, enjoyable content. So yeah, next time we'll get straight into the off season. But until then, thank you guys for watching. This video should be coming out in 1080p. I've been having some issues with Adobe Premiere, but yeah, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye.